Anybody know you got demons attached to you? That's when God speaks to you. He never calls you by your name. He calls you by the name that he calls you. Sons. The next one that you can definitely rest assured, and I really want to get to this father thing. I need to give you this. My faith in God. I can stand on my faith in God. Hebrews 11:1 gives us a formula of how to have faith. It's a chemistry. It is a formula of a chemist. He says that here, that faith is the substance of things hoped for. Now, hope for is the actual, it's the foundation of what faith is. And back in the poetry books, it says that if hope is deferred, it maketh the heart sick. And some of you have been walking around sick mentally because of what you received in your heart. My Lord, this is what produces mental illness, because it comes from what you receive in your heart. I wish I had somebody to help me here. Mental illness is so appropriate in my family. And I just talk about myself because y'all get offended, you know, when you singled out. So I want to invite you into my life. If I can invite you in my life, you will understand that my grandmother has had at least 2 nervous breakdowns where she didn't know where she was at, who she was, who anybody was connected to her. That trickled down to her sons, hallelujah, whom have had nervous breakdowns, have had emotional issues in their lives, cannot be able to bear the absence of their fathers, whom are still suffering to this day. It has trickled down to the grandchildren of, like myself, who at times feel inadequate of doing this, of times that I have to remember what God has called me to do. Even this morning, in between looking at the enemy face to face and know that God is still God, and I can walk away with a smile on my face and say, all I did was bless you, sir, with my presence. And then come back and just see another enemy in my face that I quite wasn't ready for. It was unaware. I was unaware of this one. I was unaware of this demon, and I had to look at it in the face, knowing that I was mad at it. Now, knowing that I wasn't willing to forgive at the moment. I wasn't really to walk away from it, and I would say, you know what, hell with all this. I'm not even going to deal with all this. I just stop. See, that's why we live a metaphorical life, and we have to remember what God has called us to do when our emotions begin to take its place of God's voice. Y'all didn't hear that right there. What do I do when my emotions takes precedence over God's voice? I'm not preaching, I'm just trying to help somebody. How do I stay focused to an assignment when I'm always being challenged? I'm glad that you asked that question. Let me help you with this. If you're never challenged, your faith will never be strong. All right. We are challenged from day in and day out. It's not punishment. It's not to make you feel like a loser.
That's right.
It's not to make you feel inadequate of who you are or your identity. It is simply to build dialogue in your life that will give evidence to your future that I'm supposed to be here, Kenny.
Yes, yes.
My dialogue follows me. The worst thing that we could ever walk to Kirk is a season and a decade of technology where we won't even sit down and talk. That when I'm going through, that I can send a text. I said, LOL, you okay? LOL. What is funny when I'm going through? We have gotten away from sitting down and talking, collecting dialogue for one another. We live in a non-faith world where we can text our concerns and never get to the bottom of the issue. This has caused our faith to be weakened. That when I have a problem with you, I can't talk to you, I'll text you. There are 4.5 billion mobile users. The vast majority of our dialogue are eating servers of someone's company. We have children sending as much as 3,000 to 10,000 text messages out of the month. We have parents living in the same house and are texting their children. We have husband and wives texting each other in 2 different rooms, but will not sit down and speak. This has crumbled our faith in God. Because how you communicate with others affects how you communicate with God. And the enemy has used us as a tool. LOL, I'm okay. God bless you, love you. How is that building dialogue to get to the root of an issue? It doesn't. It is Satan's tool that we're supposed to be using for the glory of God. But we have allowed it to entrap us to not build dialogue and to conversate, to converse and confabulate amongst one another, to be able to bring a finishing resolution. It affects our faith in God. Last beliefs, that one thing that I could stand on is that I'm a praiser and I am a worshiper. Well, why did you say that? I'm glad that you asked that. Because when I worship God, when I pray, my praise is an outward, publicized affection towards God. It's an outward affection and emotion that helps me to attack spiritual demons that attack me, and to decree and declare victory over my mind, my home, my possessions, my children, my husband, my sons, my daughters, my wife, my connections in the kingdom. It's a weapon to protect who I am. You can't be connected to people who are not praisers.
Come on, that's good.
Worst thing you can do is connect to someone that thinks praise is unnecessary.
All right. Come on, Jesus.
The next worst thing to do is to fellowship with people who are not worshipers of God.
Yes, Lord. Yes.
That's why I'm so glad to see that when the worship began to go forth, some people were laying down, some people had a hand up, some people were on their knees, some people was just walking and crying, some people was on the wall, some people just had their head down. Everybody was connected to God at the same time. Because you can't never be in an atmosphere where people can't talk to God and get in contact with God and reverence who He is in the midst of what you're facing on a day-to-day basis. I wish I understand. I can stand on this because I was created to do this. I do this so that I can escape from a world of danger to be encamped by a kingdom full of people that can talk to God in 16 different languages at the same time. 16 languages was being established at the same time. One was bowed down. Oh, y'all remember the 120? They began to come down out of the court and they said, these people are drunk. Yes, we are drunk, but we are not drunk as ye suppose. You're part right. We have been taken of the drink of the wine in new wineskins, the wine that you have never experienced. And in fact, if you continue to allow me to praise and to worship our God, I will examine and I will exemplify how powerful a God that I really serve. And so we stand on these 5 things to say that my disposition in the kingdom has not been swallowed up by the enemy. I'm still powerful. I still am the great. Come on, somebody. I still serve a mighty God, and there's no demon, devil, or reveler that can take control over me unless I give it up.
Let's just give it up. My God.
Look at somebody and say, don't give up.
Don't give up.
It's too easy. Yes, yes, yes. Just tell somebody else, don't give up because it's too easy. It's too easy. It's too easy. Can you just do me a favor? Can you just go and just hug somebody and say, don't give up? That's the easy way out.